These high temperatures this week, grass, shrubs, and other fuels are drying up fast. Tonight, Fox 12's Connor McCarthy spoke with the Oregon Department of Forestry about this year's fire season and has the story.
Now, this is what the Oregon Department of Forestry is concerned about. This tall grass right here that is quickly drying out. You can see there is still some green, but as you get closer, a lot of it is turning this a brown yellowish color, showing you that it is very dry. And now ODF says this is what catches fire first, and that could lead it to a more catastrophic blaze.
As someone who kind of lives and dies by the forecast, I've learned about 2 to 3 days out.
Judah Larson has lived in rhododendron for 20 years. Each summer, with the temperatures rising, the possibility of wildfires barreling through his home is always in the back of his mind.
We've been pretty lucky, fairly lucky up here. It has not burned, and I mean, there's old pictures you can look at. This hillside right back here behind us was all completely blackened, like in the 30s.
And each summer, he and his neighbors prepare to defend themselves and their homes.
Most of what people this time of year pull all the debris away from the houses. You know, you rake, get it down to, mineral soil near your house.
The Oregon Department of Forestry says this week's heat wave is drying out fuels like this even faster. And just because we had a wet spring doesn't necessarily mean we won't have a fire season.
Growing up in the Mid-Willamette Valley among grass seed farmers hauling 25, 30 ton of hay a year for a small livestock farm, it can happen awful fast.
ODF says preparing for a wildfire with defensible space is key.
If you have, say, a pile of yard debris, you want to be able to dispose of that appropriately, put it in your yard debris bin and get it away from what could potentially endanger your home in that sense.
If you'd like to see what the wildfire risk levels are in your neighborhood, ODF has a website that shows your community. Most in the Cascades are in the extreme and high-risk zones. Larson, also a former wildland firefighter, says his community knows the risk of living where they do and that any spark could be devastating.
I mean, if this starts burning, look at it. We got 300-foot tall trees. If those things are on fire, you're run, basically.
Now back to that wildfire risk map. The Oregon Department of Forestry wants to be clear that's different than the fire danger level that you might see at ranger stations. They say this risk map is only supposed to show communities the risk of a large wildfire coming through their town. The fire danger level, that is short-term data that is determined on numerous factors. However, as the summer continues and so does fire season, that fire danger level could rise. In Government Camp, Connor McCarthy, Fox 12 Oregon.